Well, that was a piece of music in what we call a mode. Now, the major and minor scale and the natural minor scale all form three of the modes that are possible in music. A lot of them, other than those three, don't come up that much for students. And so when students get a piece of music that is in a mode, I know some teachers can get a little bit concerned that they're not 100% sure how to work out what mode a piece of music that their student is learning is in. And it's really important to know that. So in today's video, I'm going to show you exactly how to work it out. And I'm going to use a little flowchart that I've created that gives you a 5-step process for working out what mode any piece of music is in. So let's get started. The first thing you need to do is know your order of modes. The modes are listed, generally speaking, in fact, always in a particular order. And it goes Ionian, Dorian, Phrygian, Lydian, Mixolydian, Aeolian, and Locrian, or Locrian, depending on how you say it. So they're always in that particular order. So first step is to know that, and I've listed it out on your sheet for you. Now, the second thing you need to do is have a look at the actual music the student's learning and work out what is the tonic major key of that piece by key signature. So I've given you two examples on the sheet. I'll pop one of them up here now. So example one, you can see it's got no key signature, no sharps or flats. So the major key that this piece would be in would be C major. So I'm actually just going to quickly note that one down for our first one. Now in example two, which I'll put up now, you can see that there's a B flat in the key signature. So of course the major key for that piece of music would be F major. All right, so that's step one. Now, step two is to look at the music the student is playing, the actual written score, and find out what the lowest starting note in the left hand is, because this is generally the new tonic key. Whatever the mode it's in, that's going to be the naming note, the tonic note of that key. So in the first example, the piece of music starts with this pattern. So our lowest note is D. So I'm going to write that one down. We've gone from C to D. In example number two, you can see up here on the screen, we've gone from, we're starting the left hand on C. It's got this pattern of alternating between C and E. So we've gone to C. And that's our new starting note for the piece of music. So that's step number two. That's all pretty straightforward, I think, at this stage. Now, the next thing to do is just work out how many notes have you moved from the starting key to the new key. So in the case of this first one, we've moved up one position. In the case of F to C, F, G, G, A, B, C, 1, 2, 3, 4. We've gone up 4 places. All right, so that is step number 3. Now, step number 4 is just relating the number of places that you've moved here with the order of modes that I mentioned right at the start. So in the first one, we've moved up just 1 place. So the key of the first piece that I played is now D Dorian. And we use the new lowest note, that new naming note, as the key of the piece of music. So D Dorian. In the case of the second one, it looked like it was in F major. It's not in F major because it starts on C and it's got that modal flavor to it. We've gone up 4 places. So this time we go 1, 2, 3, 4. That piece is in C Mixolydian. And so that's the easiest way to work out the key of just about any piece of music that a student's learning by just a few quick steps. And I've written them all out on this sheet here for you with examples. And the way to download this is just to follow the link that you can see on your screen and down in the comments below, or sorry, in the description below, I should say. Now, there's one other resource that I've got that I'll share with you, and that's my piano modes worksheet. It's a 2-sided sheet. You can see I've laminated this. I keep it handy all the time because it is so helpful. On the first side, it actually just shows you the notation of each of the modes, both on the white notes of the piano, but also always in C. Because I find that if students always think about modes just being on the white notes of the piano, it's actually not that helpful, because not all pieces are going to be on the white notes of the piano. It won't always be D Dorian and E Phrygian, for example. It's going to change. So it's much better for students to know and be able to recognize both the sound orally of these modes, but also to be able to know which notes have been changed from the major or the minor. For example, A Dorian mode scale, you can see here, is a major scale with a flattened third and a flattened seventh. So in the case of D, we flatten the F sharp and the C sharp, we end up with... But we could do exactly the same thing with C, knowing that all we do is flatten the third and the seventh of the major scale. So now we got this. And I think that's a much more useful way to look at modes than thinking about them on the white notes of the piano. So that's what that side of the sheet's for. On the back side of the sheet, I've got examples and moods that these modes evoke, songs that use it, and chords that students can improvise over even to practice that particular mode. So I hope that's been helpful for you today. If you've got your own method of working out what mode a piece of music in, then let us know in the comments below. And I should just add one little quick caveat, and that's to say that this works in 98% of cases, and particularly with pedagogical music that students are learning. There will of course be some songs or pieces of music that are in a mode that the left-hand starting note isn't the starting note of the mode, if you get what I mean. So just keep that in mind. Pretty much this works across the board, but do keep in mind there might be a few little exceptions to the rule. So let me know what you think. Hey, wait one sec. If you haven't yet subscribed to my YouTube channel, then please just click the link. It's over there. And I've also lined up another great video for you to watch, which is also over here. So click it, check it out now, and I'll see you soon.